The following announcement has been paid for by the Wrestling Epicenter.
Hey guys.
Hello, ladies. Remember me? Let me talk to you, dummies.
It's now time
It's Vader time. TikTok.
It's showtime!
for the longest running wrestling talk show in history.
We are huge. It's gonna be cool.
You're where it's at.
You're smart like me.
Tune in each and every week.
You better keep listening, or I'll come out of your computer
And turn it on for you.
or else I'm gonna kick your stinking teeth in.
We've been known by a few names.
The needs of the many far outweigh the needs of the few.
The Interactive Interview,
Interactive interview. Oh yeah.
Interactive interview.
The interactive interview.
Interactive interview. The interactive interview.
The Blaze,
Blaze 1260 AM. The Blaze.
The Blaze.
Blaze. The Blaze rock.
Interactive Wrestling Radio,
Interactive Wrestling Radio. Interactive Wrestling Radio.
Interactive radio.
Interactive Radio. Testify. Interactive Wrestling Radio.
and a lot of other names.
Weekend Warriors of Wrestling. The Pile Driver. The Pile Driver.
3-count wrestling.
The Hours of Slam.
But it's all one show, the Wrestling Epicenter.
Wrestling Epicenter. The Wrestling Epicenter.
The Epicenter.
Wrestling Epicenter, dude.
The Wrestling Epicenter. Don't get off.
And your host from day one,
By ignorance or arrogance.
James Walsh.
Wake up, sleepyheads.
I could care less.
It all starts
Oh, tough guy.
Thank you very much.
Rush. Dumbed down.
Get out of my face.
You win! But I'm desperately out of time! So what you gonna do when Blaze Mania runs wild on you?
now.
This is Madison Rain, and you are in the Wrestling Epicenter.
Wake up, sleepyheads. It's party time. As much party time as it can be, as we are still quarantined here in the good old US of A, and frankly, all around the world. Wherever you might be listening to us, I want to thank you for tuning in to Interactive Wrestling Radio right here on WrestlingEpicenter.com. I am your humble servant, your host since 2002, James Walsh. And it is a pleasure to have you join our show once again. This week we bring you I guess technically a first-time guest, though he was on a Press Pass podcast we were on back in December of 2018. First time, one-on-one, that we speak to a young man who just won the Impact Wrestling X Division Championship on Rebellion Night 1 on Access TV this past Tuesday. He is Willie Mack. And what a great interview it is with Willie Mack. I hope you guys enjoy it. I want to make this editorial comment. I defy any wrestling fan to tell me with any legitimacy that Impact Wrestling was not the best show this week on wrestling television. I'm including Raw, I'm including NWA Power, I'm including AEW. I haven't seen SmackDown yet, but I have no reason to doubt it. Impact Wrestling stole the week. What a fantastic show Rebellion Night 1 was. And of course, it was all capped off with Sami Callihan and Ken Shamrock in a very theatrical match that I really enjoyed. But probably the highlight of the night was seeing Mr. Willie Mack win that X Division Championship. If you haven't checked it out, check out ImpactWrestling.com. Get yourself Impact Plus. And don't forget, Rebellion Night 2 is on Tuesday night on Access Television. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, my name is James Walsh. Check out WrestlingEpicenter.com. Be sure and click that store button if you haven't noticed. Got a brand new store online. It is WrestlingEpicenter.com/Zen, Z-E-N. or just click that store button on the front page of WrestlingEpicenter.com. That will take you to our brand new store. Over 1,000 new headlines and titles to choose from. WrestlingEpicenter.com/Zen. Here we go with Willie Mack on the Interactive Wrestling Radio.
What is it going to take to put one of these men away?
Here we go! Willie, 6-star frog splash! And on this night, at Rebellion, Willie Mack becomes X Division champion!
The winner of the match and new X Division champion, Willie Mack!
Welcome back to Interactive Wrestling Radio. On the Newsmaker line with us right now is the new Impact Wrestling X Division champion of the world, as seen at Rebellion Night 1 just a few nights ago. He is the Mack, Willie Mack. Are you with me, sir?
Yeah, I'm here. Nice to be on your show.
It's such a pleasure to have you on. I've been a fan of yours for quite some time, and I'm so happy to see you finally with some gold in Impact Wrestling. How cool is it to hold that Impact Wrestling World X Division Championship?
Oh, it's sweet. Because when I used to watch it back in the day on the Wednesday pay-per-views and spent my $10, I saw AJ Styles get it, and then Amazing Red and Jerry Lynn and all the other greats of the X Division. And even back then, when I was just a fan, I was like, all right, that's the division I want to be a part of. And here I am now, plenty of years later, as the X Division champion.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things I love about you, is that you definitely were a fan of those Wednesday pay-per-views, which I was as well. And if you remember back, those guys, they weren't always the traditional cruiserweight, let's call it. You had PCO wrestling as X, you had Samoa Joe. Yourself, you fall in that vein as well. You're definitely not a cruiserweight. But a former Impact champion, and also X Division champion, had said that the expected X Division style is now the style he expects everybody to work in wrestling. And if you think about it, most do. Do you think that that is true, that the X Division has kind of changed wrestling?
Yeah, because everybody was stuck in like, oh, we have to have a cruiserweight division, or oh, we need to have like the in-between, but they mixed it all together, and the hybrid styles come into play. You got the luchadors, then you got the strong style, and it all fits up into the X Division category. So it's like, all right, no weight limits, no time limits, no, everything goes into it. It's fit to everybody's style pretty much.
Absolutely. So not about weight limits, it's about no limits, as the phrase used to be.
Yep, it should still be that. People don't remember.
Absolutely. Well, I'm not going to talk too much about the elephant in the room, which is the situation we're all dealing with, this COVID-19 thing. But how was it to perform in an empty arena? I take it that's not something you're typically used to doing.
Yeah, it reminded me of my first day starting out in wrestling, because not everybody gets like the 15,000 or 30,000 people at first. Hell, I've wrestled at places where it's been like 5 people in the crowd, but it don't matter if it's 5 people or a couple thousand. I'm going to go out there and do my best to entertain them. And especially with this going on right now, the COVID-19, I make sure that when I'm in the ring, you forget about everything that's going on in the world except what's happening right now in front of your face when I'm in there. And if I could take away from people for think about that stuff, I did my job, I guess.
Awesome. So my favorite match that you've had in your year and a half so far run with Impact Wrestling was a hard-hitting match you had with Rob Van Dam. And I could see Rob Van Dam fitting into that X Division role as well. Would you welcome a challenge from Rob Van Dam for the X Division title?
Sure, if you wanted, you can come get some, but I'm pretty sure he probably ain't going to jump at the chance too quick. Because, I got to get him back for that last one. He got me last time, but this time I'm up to his plan, what he got when you go on Wrestling RVD. He ain't really got no plan. He just does whatever.
Absolutely. And it should be noted that backstage at Rebellion, we saw Rich Swann back. And Rich Swann has been gone for a little while with an injury. How cool was it to see your buddy Rich Swann back at Impact?
It was great because usually when we on the road, it's us together traveling and hitting the towns and whatnot. And the last few times I was by myself, and it was weird just being there. But then he came back, and it was kind of like, oh, hell yeah, now I have someone to chat with, and we can mess around in the locker room and everything. And it felt great, and hopefully he's back real soon and get back in the ring and do what he loved to do, because I know he's missing it a lot.
Absolutely. And, of course, you didn't go without a tag team partner too long because Johnny Swinger fancies himself as your tag partner. How do you like working with Johnny?
Well, it's Swinger. I don't know. You just got to get used to him. He like the uncle that you didn't invite to the Christmas party, but he shows up anyway. You go, hey, y'all tried this potato salad. This potato salad good, y'all, but nobody asked him his opinion. That's how Johnny Swinger is.
I love it. And Rich Swann was kind of talking about going for the tag team titles. Now that you have a singles title, is that still something you guys are considering doing?
Oh, yeah. Just because you had a one, like, you're happy with the one, but if there's a chance to add more to it, that's more fuel to go get after what you want to get, because the tag titles is what we was going after, and then we got sidetracked and derailed a little bit because of the injury. But now, if he comes back at 100%, like I know he will, we'll go after them and see what happens from there. Carry that momentum on.
Very cool, very cool. Now, the first time I saw you was in Lucha Underground, and you just had such a connection with the people there. Do you think that Lucha Underground platform kind of propelled you to Impact Wrestling?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it didn't, because it's like, all right, that's a nice TV production, and it's a great crowd, and you can feel the atmosphere about it, and people was really, really watching. And then, like, other companies take notice, so I think it's a big step to helping me get to Impact, and it's been good so far, and I love the way that they have us going.
Very cool. And one thing that Impact and Lucha Underground had in common was the more theatrical style of wrestling, like we saw in the main event of Rebellion with Sami and Ken Shamrock. Do you like that kind of stuff? The more theatrical, the backstage shot segments that are more like movies than they are like matches?
Oh, yeah, that's how I had to deal with Lucha Underground. It was like you going in as a wrestler, then you find out it's a part of a TV production, and you have one day you doing the vignettes, and then you got the wrestling on the next day, and you see it all come together, like how the movie magic works. It's amazing, and it's a different take instead of just wrestling a certain kind of way. Then you finally get the theatrical part, which is amazing, because it's like something for like a person who doesn't really watch wrestling, but will watch a horror movie or an action movie instead. You get that audience too.
Awesome. And like I mentioned earlier, you've been with Impact Wrestling for about 1.5 years now. It's been a while that you've been there, and you've seen some changes. You've seen them go from Pop TV to Pursuit to Twitch, and now you guys are on Access TV and Twitch. What do you think of the shape of Impact Wrestling in 2020? And how excited are you guys to get back on the road as soon as we can in front of people?
I think it's going good right now. It kicked off the Rebellion Night 1, new champ, and a lot of new people showing up, a lot of new storylines going on, and hopefully when this thing is over with, more fans will show up and have that hunger for wrestling, like see some live wrestling. And Access TV is the platform, and Twitch, so people ain't got no reason to say, oh, I can't watch Impact now. You got internet and you got television, so it's right there in front of you. Just use your keyboard or your PlayStation, because I know a lot of people playing video games right now. It's on Twitch.
That's absolutely true. One more question for you. And that is about the other champion, singles champion, I should say, in Impact Wrestling. That is Tessa Blanchard, at least for now. I have no idea what the result is of next week's match. What is your thought of a woman holding the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship?
It doesn't really change me that much. It's just the sheer person that she went out there and did what she had to do and ended up becoming the world's champion. And that's something people will never think they'll see happen in their lifetime, but it happened. Like we seen an Intercontinental champion who was a woman. We seen WCW Cruiserweight champion who was a woman. And we seen Jacqueline as a Cruiserweight champion, so it was about time one of them stepped up to it and finally got it. And, hey, that's a good moment, and it ain't going to never be erased from history. And we lived it.
Absolutely. Just a couple more questions because I know we're running short on time, but stepping back to Tuesday night, because Tuesday night I know you stepped in the ring with Ace Austin, and I know you've had your problems with Ace Austin. My favorite commentary line in recent history was Don Callis calling him a cocky little shit on commentary. What is your thoughts on Ace Austin and his incredible upside at his young age?
Oh, he could be the next great thing. He's a good competitor, as you can see in the ring, for like not being in wrestling too long. But him going after people's mamas and wives and stuff like that, that's what's going to get him beat up. But yeah, if he stick to a different road and do what he's doing a different way, he could be like, he is the future of wrestling pretty much. He's a damn good competitor. That's all I can say about him.
Beautiful, beautiful. And of course we have night 2 of Rebellion coming up on Tuesday night. As a fan, what should I be looking out for on Tuesday night?
Tuesday night, I'm thinking, something with Moose maybe. It's pretty good. And what else we got? What other matches was on the card?
We got the main event, which is the 3-way for the world title. You got
that one's good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Let's go with that one. All right. Well, I can't wait to see it. I can't tell you how glad I am to finally have had an opportunity to have you on the show, and I'd love to do it again sometime. Before I do let you go, though, can I ask for a little favor from you?
Mm-hmm.
You probably know what I'm going to ask. Do you mind if I ask for a drop, just saying this is Willie Mack, and you're listening to the Wrestling Epicenter?
What's up? This is Chocolate Thunder Willie Mack, and you're listening to the Wrestling Epicenter. Hey, yeah.
I love it, man. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
You're a true historian. That's awesome. I really like the fact that you know your Impact history. That's really cool.
Hey, I started off as a fan. I remember everything like the back of my hand.
The preceding announcement was paid for by the Wrestling Epicenter.
I'm listening, and if you like what you heard, I'm glad. If you didn't like what you heard, well, go fuck yourself.
Most people done hung up on me.
We had a lovely conversation.